There we go. What's up, guys? How's it going? Dean's here. Open host Steve. What's up? What's up? How's it going? Good to see everybody. So this is a continuation of the first lens setup and corrections video. What's up, Isaac? In this one, we're going to be... I'm still zoomed in from Hot Makes. Let me zoom out here. In this one, we're cutting focal sticks for all these lenses. And if we have time, we are going to be doing lens corrections. Which is, you know, that's a thing. But first, let's get Lightburn open. And I'm going to see if I can find my... my focal stick file. We got a lot to do. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right over to the desktop. What's up, Rebel? Good to see ya. Rick, cancer free. That's what I like to hear. All right, we're going to import and we're going to dive into my scary library. Let's see. Got something in here. Fiber focal stick large and focal stick small. That's what we want. Let's bring the large one in. Ooh, look at that. And the small one. These are on LMA if you don't have them, but they're not that hard to make if you need to make your own. Cut my first focal stick the other day. And it was not the right length. Forgot to compensate for kerf. Yeah, we're going to talk about that. Really all you need to do is just go a millimeter bigger. That's it. Because that's about what you lose on the CO2. If you go a millimeter bigger, they're pretty much accurate across the board for any size. But we have like a ton of lenses over here. So we're going to need to do a bunch of focal sticks. I'm actually going to... I should probably measure really quick too. I have a sheet of acrylic in the bed. I think the camera's set up where you guys can see it. Let me see. So it's a big sheet of acrylic. It's not small. Let's take that back a little bit. It's a big sheet of acrylic, but we just want to make sure that we have enough space to cut all of the sticks. So I'm actually going to draw like an outline box, I think, in Lightburn. If you don't have a CO2, all you need to do is just get dowel. Get dowel rods and cut dowel rods. You have to kind of do it on like the edge of the lens. It's a little bit more of a pain in the ass, but it works. You can figure it out. You could make a T out of dowel rods if you really needed to. So there's alternatives. There's other things you can do. All right, let's see. 24 by what? 18? That should be plenty of room for what we need to do. Why expensive cast acrylic and not ply instead? I'm using this particular cast acrylic because it's leftover junk from like old projects, and I've just got a ton of it laying around. So, you know, I'm gonna use that. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't like pay for this purpose. I didn't like, you know, it's just like sitting around. So, just leftover junk. Desktop. So, all right. So all we need to do, let's see, really quick. Let's just make a box. We're going to make it, of course it's in millimeters. Can I just do 24 inches? Yes, I love Lightburn. 24 inches by 18 inches. Done. We'll go ahead and red that out. Oop, I'm still making boxes. Noob mistake. Pointer. All right, 24 by 18. The lock is on. I was wondering. 24 inches, please. Thank you. All right, so that looks good. I'm kind of like looking around the mic here because my main monitor's over here. So we'll have some big ones. We'll have some small ones. We kind of have to decide when we're going to switch from the big one to the small one. The small one works for my 110 really well. So let me just show you. So this is my, let me switch back to the main. This is what the big stick looks like in reality. It actually broke in the middle. I don't know if you see that there, but it broke in the middle. So I might not actually like the big stick template. I kind of like the small stick template just blown up to really big sizes. So we might just use that the whole time. This is kind of what the small stick looks like in its native form, if you will, and then kind of blown up. I kind of like the small stick better. So I think we're gonna junk the large design. I don't really like it. I'm mad that the old one broke. So we'll just stick with the little one here. This should be, what is it? 183 millimeters is what I had originally cut for my 110 fiber laser lens. We need to fix that right off the bat. So, but let's go in order. So the first one is for the 220 fiber lens. It's 354, so we're going to make this one 355. Ooh, it's kind of rough. Maybe we'll lock proportions on that. 355 millimeters. That's a big boy. That's a big boy stick right there. Okay, so we got that one. And then let's just copy, paste. And our next stick is 248. So we're going to go 249. We're just going to keep doing this. That's all we're going to do. Oh, man. Yeah, before Thanksgiving would have been nice, Rick. For the 110, 179. Easy enough. Copy, paste. Height, 179. So it's going to be 180. Right? 1 millimeter bigger. These should measure out. The 70's 114. So we're going to go 115. Copy, paste. The 50 millimeter is 81.5. So we're going to go 82.5. The other thing is that we have a certain width we need to be. That's the other thing, because the lens is only so wide and we need to make sure we cover the entire diameter of the lens. So what we really need is to measure the diameter of one of these lenses, because we don't want any of our sticks to not be wide enough to, for example, right, the 110 lens there, just barely enough to like cross the diameter of the lens. So we want to make sure that all of these sticks are wide enough. And the 70 and, if the 110 is just barely wide enough, the 70 and the 50 aren't going to be wide enough. So we need to fix that. Where's my caliper? Let me find my caliper. Hold on. I need like 5 more calipers. Oh, I found it. All right. So it's going to be around 85 millimeters, because that's the thread size. But just for kicks, let's just get nice and accurate with this. It's saying 90, so I think a 90 minimum would be good, and that's easy enough to fix. So what we're going to do in here is we're just going to draw, and we're just going to do some quick welds. So if I draw a box and we go black with it, and we need it to be at least 90, right? Yeah, it's a big difference there. So let's grab these two and we'll center them up. And let's see if I still know how to do this in Lightburn. This one right here should be. Nope. Oh my god, that did not work the way I wanted it to. Are they? This is why I do stuff in. This is why I do stuff in Illustrator. Like, where's my arrange? Arrange. Bring to front. And then we try it. No, still doesn't like that. What about this one? Arrange. Bring to front. How about now? Do you like that better? Why aren't you welding nicely? What's up, Jim? How's it going, man? We're just gonna do this in Illustrator. So we're gonna export really quick. We'll just call this, I don't know, focal sticks. We're not keeping this file. It doesn't really matter. We'll minimize that, and we will open Illustrator and catch up on chat. Putting the little man to bed. But thanks again for being on Hot Makes tonight, dude. It was so much fun. I had such a good time. If you guys haven't already watched the Hot Makes episode, I think Jim's gonna have it up on the Hot Makes channel really soon. So go check it out, because we got to hang out, and it was really fun. Nerdy Jay and Alex, kicking it. It was a good time. Oh, it's there now? Dope. Should be up right now. I mean, go to it, bookmark it, and then come back to this, because you don't want to miss this. But definitely watch it, because it was really, really fun. Screen cam, thank you. I will do that. Oh my God, Dean, it's okay, man. You're not missing anything. I haven't done anything yet. All right, so let's just see. Focal sticks. We'll dump that in. There they are. And now we can make some super quick work of this here. So let's grab a copy of this, because we're going to need that again. And now we can just unite them. So much easier. Pathfinder Unite. This is why I pay for Illustrator. Same thing here. That looks a little goofy, but it is what it is. Well, we'll center those up. Don't want text. And unite. Our focal stick's getting weird. All right, good night, Jim. Thanks for popping in, man. So yeah, it looks kind of dumb, but you know, it's that's what we need. So so be it, I guess. Yeah. Doesn't look like we have any weird stuff going on, right? Yeah, no. All right, we're good. Those were good. Those were clean. So there's all our fiber ones, and then we need to do our CO2 ones. And we're actually gonna. I scoffed at the text tool, but we should mark these. So this is gonna be F220. That doesn't stand for focal length or focal distance. It stands for fiber. We're marking. We're gonna mark our sticks here so that we don't forget what's what. Also, I hate Myriad. So let's go to Futura. Like heavy. There we go. Good old Laser Everything font. And we'll expand these here. So F220. But before we expand, we need more copies. We have F150. F110. Right, because we don't want to mix these up with our CO2 focal sticks. F70 and F50. Again, these are not focal distances. It's fiber 220. So I know the stick is for the fiber laser, and the 220 millimeter lens is what we're doing here with these. So. OpenHost got the Inkscape EZCAD import issue figured out the other day. No Illustrator needed. That's good. I want to hear about that. What's up, honey? My wife is here. Everybody say hi to Miranda. Miranda's here. All right, so there's our F220, or F150. Wow, that's going to rapidly be too big, so let's take that down just a touch. F150, F110, that's acceptable. F70 and F50 are going to be even smaller. F70. And last but not least, way down here, F50, which I don't even want to make that smaller because it's just going to not be legible. So let's get that expanded. We're just going to go through and we're going to expand these real quick. Again, if you don't have a CO2 laser, I guess, yeah, I saw somebody in chat said you could 3D print a focal stick. That's a good idea. Or you can just cut some dowel rods. Everybody can go to Michael's and get a dowel rod and snap it off at the right length. I mean, if you really, really don't have anything else, you can still get this done, so. All right, I'm a perfectionist, so these all need to be center. All right, and we did the 50. Great. That looks really good. That's a really nice lineup. Hopefully these cut well. I don't know how well they're gonna cut. Wouldn't it be best to have the same thickness for everything for strength? Yeah. You know, I'm not really worried about strength except maybe on the 70 and the 50. I'm a little worried about these two. So maybe, yeah, we could do that. I mean, we'll do that real quick. So we can just draw a path here. I'll zoom in. And then we're going to use our shape builder tool. Let's get both of these objects selected. We can use our shape builder tool here, build a shape. We'll take that and cut it and then undo. Delete that. Nope. That was the wrong stick. I meant to take it from the one above. Edit, undo, clear. Okay. So I meant to take it from the 110. That's what I want to sample from here. So let's drop that up there. This can be really thin. And we'll select both of these and check it out. We're just going to shape builder. Boom, right there. We're going to grab that, cut it, undo, delete that. And then we can paste it and we can reuse it. So paste. About there. Just get that to size. And same thing here. Just let that snap in, get it to size. Overshoot that. Here we go, guys. Shape builder again. Shape builder is a lifesaver. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Super clean. Get rid of the fill. And now we're left with a fatter F70 stick. Nice and chunky. Good chunky boy. We're going to do the same thing with the F50. It's kind of in the way at the moment, so select everything. Shape builder, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Unfill it. And we'll just bring our F50 back in. Okay. All right. They look dumb, but they'll get the job done for sure. Cardboard from Amazon boxes. Sure, why not? All right, so we're not quite done. We still need to do our CO2 lenses now that we've got our fiber ones properly labeled. So the first one is going to be big, so we'll sample our big one here. Let's go to height. It's 338 millimeters, so we're going to go to 339. Wow, eerily similar. But very similar lenses, so this is going to be the F210, or no, because it's not fiber. C210, CO2, right? So CO2, C210. And we'll just pop that right up in there. We'll fix that up in a minute. But there's the C210. Okay, that's good. Next up, the 110 is 184, so we want to go to 148, so we want to go to 149, 149 millimeters. Wow, big drop. Big drop. And you can see it's notably smaller than the fiber, so just because they're both 110 doesn't mean anything. different lasers. So that's C110 for the CO2 110 millimeter lens. We'll just kind of toss that up there. And last but not least, we have our 175 millimeter lens. That's 273. So again, the big guy here, this will be fine for 274 millimeters. We'll clean this up in a minute. We're getting to it, promise. This is going to be the C175. Excellent. And we'll just do a quick expand. We're nearly done, and then we get to cut. That's the fun part. That's what we all want to do. And this is all going to work really, really well in light burn. Center. Bring that down just a little bit. All right, now we're good. So now we just need to nest, just a little bit of nesting. The bottom of the F70 looks a little bit funky. Was there a weird overlap with the combine? I don't think so. We can look at it. Oh. Nope, you're totally right. Good catch. Good catch. Is that it? Yeah, that should be it. Okay, great. Solid. Good eye. Good eye on that one. All right. So this guy, we don't have to actually do like a ton of nesting. I mean, we could probably like save a bunch of material here by nesting this well. But again, it's kind of scrap. I don't really care that much about it, but we might as well do... We can put a little effort in here, right? And kind of nest that one up in there. This one, same thing, can come. We can tuck that in, like in there-ish. And then our last little fiber stick here. We can tuck that one in there. So, okay, so that's a little bit better usage of our material. We'll move our outline box over a little bit. And that's it. The file's done. It's not like amazing, but it's better than what we had before. So we'll save this as an AI version 8, just focal sticks again. And we can shut that down. Come back into Lightburn. We'll get rid of all this because we just reproduced it. Import. Desktop. Focal sticks. And there's our completed file. The only thing I want to do, I don't want it to cut these. I don't want it to cut this text. I want it to engrave it. So I'm just going to select these and set them to blue because blue is kind of like our general engrave. We'll double check the setting before we start it. Library, acrylic, standard 300 is fine. We're not doing any crazy stuff here. All right, why are you doing that? Oh, I didn't change them to blue. Blue, there we go. And assign. Okay, excellent. So there it is. We wanted to engrave first and then cut, so we got to move the blue up to the top. Then we've got our cut next, and then lastly our outline. And we have enough material left over here that if my laziness bites me in the ass and our measurements don't work out, we can actually like take the time and calculate the curve for each one. But I'm pretty sure we won't have to do that. I'm 90% sure that just taking the mill further on each one is going to work out great. So I think everything's done. Let me go ahead and send this over. And we're gonna we're going to switch over to the Lightroom view. So let's go take a look at that. I'm going to set the origin there in just a second. Handle of the Swiss Army knife is definitely going to be a UV job for sure. I mean, I think Alex Campbell did one on his CO2 gantry and it turned out okay, but it was still like melty. You know, it's a controlled melt. You're doing a controlled melt at that point, so you just got to know what you're getting yourself into. I'm going to set my origin in the top right corner of this. We're going to do a quick frame. Going to turn on the exhaust. We're not doing a big fanfare here. I just want to get them cut. So. Alright, here we go. Enjoy the fireworks. My big head's right in the way. Go ahead and move myself out of the way there for you guys. And yeah, it's got to do the engraving first, but we should make pretty quick work of this. This is a 2-inch lens. Solve. It's a 2-inch lens. That's my typical lens. I don't switch from it very often, if I'm being honest. I usually leave the 2 in there. Yeah, maybe. I just don't trust the Lightburn camera. I'm sure that it works great. I really like seeing it with the beam combiner, like, on the material. Like, I want to see it. Like, right in front of me. Oh man, a camera for the K40. It's a little over accessorized, man. You did. You got all the things that they let you get in Alaska. I guess you don't really get a red dot on the Cape 40, so I take that back. That's fair. That's a fair upgrade. Because you don't even have like an angled red dot, right? It's just you're on your own with the K40. Ah, got it. It's doing all the engraves first, and then it's going to cut when it's done. I think the K40 is a great machine for tinkerers, but like, you know, if you're kind of like tech adverse, I would really recommend people start with something that has a Ruida controller. Personally, I think a Ruida controller makes like a really big difference. I know the Cohesion 3D boards are great, but then you're like taking the thing apart and like connecting new controllers, and that's like, I mean, like, I know that seems basic to us, but you know, for a lot of people, that's like a difficult. You're asking them to do like kind of a hard thing on that, even if it seems basic to us. So it's not just like, is it your first laser or is it not your first laser? I think the background, you know, the person's background is really important. Yeah, I guess. I'll get a K40 someday and we'll tear it apart and put it back together. It would be good. It would be a good time on the channel. Oh, I'm so excited to have, I'm just going to throw out my old focal sticks right now. I'm so excited to have like a nice collection. They're all going to match. They're all going to match and be consistent. Yeah, I don't think Jimmy's going to be peeling these. I'm probably going to have to do that on my own. That's also a good idea. Unfortunately, this is my only color acrylic that I have in the shop right now, so they're all going to be red for now. But we'll save this light burn file. We'll have it. We could cut like different lasers out of different colored acrylic. Maybe all the fiber ones can be like yellow, and all the CO2 ones can be red, and all the UV ones can be purple or something. Yeah, it's pretty thin there on the smaller ones, but I think it'll be enough. They're not warping, so I'm happy with that so far. I won't peel them all on stream, but we'll peel one just to kind of get like that final look at it. Issues with parameters not being copied? How are you trying to copy them? iZap, yes, you need to do lens corrections. That's the very next thing we're doing after we're done cutting these sticks. Is lens corrections. Oh, I mean, open the param folder. You can open those files inside the param folder in a text editor. They're like human readable. So open the param folder and actually open those files in Notepad and make sure that they have like stuff in them. Make sure you're copying the right files, you know, like read the file, like the actual file contents. And I mean, that's the only thing I could think to check. Otherwise, they should be working, unless your folder structure isn't right. Inside your EZCAD folder, there should just be the one folder called param, and then the two files. So if anything's zipped or anything's in a folder or something like that, that could cause issues, but... I mean, I'm trying to think. Oh, okay, good. Alright, I think this is the last one. Then we can break these old focal sticks and throw them in the garbage. Look at that, guys. 7,500 subscribers. That's crazy. When we get to 10,000, we're going to make our own YouTube plaque. The 10,000 subscriber laser YouTube plaque. Yeah, 75,000. Did I say 75,000? 7,500. 75,000 would be crazy. Alright, we can cancel the outline that it's going to run here. Oh, okay. Alright. I got a little excited. Almost closed this prematurely here. When it's done doing the cuts, it'll do an outline. I'm gonna stop that. Pizza sounds so good right now. I'm so hungry. Yeah, pizza sounds real good. Alright, we didn't get any warping, so I think we made everything thick enough. Alright, we don't need to watch that outline. Alright. Main camera on. We can turn these fans off. And let's rescue our... These little focal sticks for the little lenses are so small. Alright. There's our... There's our acrylic. This is 4mm acrylic, so this is pretty sturdy stuff. It's hot. You can still feel the heat and the fumes like kind of rising off of these. These are sick though. These are going to be awesome. And the caliper's not going to be quite big enough to test these, so we're going to have to go ruler on these, but that's fine. Let's move all our old focal sticks. And I'm just going to use the ruler, and we're just going to compare on some of these. So, for example, the C175 should be 273 millimeters. So let's just check that. 271, 2, 3. Perfect. And then let's try just a small one. We'll just kind of spot check these. The F110 should be 179. So we'll get that lined up. We'll check that. 179. Perfect. They're all good. So the millimeter trick works. I guess for my 2-inch lens. The millimeter trick works for adjusting for the kerf. So, yeah, not bad. We'll go ahead. Let's just get. I just want to get one of these peeled. I will peel the rest of these off stream, but I'd really like to see how these look. They're still warm. You can still feel the heat. Oh my God. Instant regret biting my nails for 30 years when I have to peel acrylic. Got any other nail biters out there, or is it just me? Oh, these are so sick already. Guys, stop talking about food. You're making me so hungry. All right. Knife. Yeah, that's working. Come on. There we go. I'm glad Einstein bit his nails. That makes me feel less alone in the world. Guys, these are sick. Now I want to peel them all. I'm not going to, because I'm not going to bore you guys with that, but they look awesome. Come on, just that last little bit. I'm going to cut myself. There we go. All right, here's a finished focal stick. So there we go. You can see it right there. F110. Super clean. And there it is. Nice bright red. Never going to lose it. Sick. We got a whole stack of sticks now. Now I need to maybe fiber cut like a sheet of acrylic that I can drop these into, or maybe 3D print something. Now that we have a 3D printer that I can drop my focal sticks into, and they can kind of just hang there. Would be nice. I've been waiting forever to do this. Goodbye. 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 Oh, this is my first one. Goodbye. Still wrong. Still not the right length. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh man, that feels so good to get rid of those. And we have all of our accurate now focal sticks. Our little red focal stick family. This was an important step for doing lens corrections, which is our next thing. Is doing our lens corrections. You can't do appropriate lens corrections if you don't have a focal stick, or a way to make sure that you're absolutely in focus. Otherwise, everything that you measure is going to be off. I got a trash can right there. So I was debating even doing this on the channel, because I literally just published a video on this, but maybe we won't do all of them, but we could do one of them together. I want to get them all in a nice pile, because that's the kind of person I am. Ooh, our C10, is that even gonna fit? Oh man, we didn't fix the C110. All right, so there's one recut in here. The F50 should fit. The F50 fits fine. So the C110 CO2 Galvo 110 lens is too short. We expanded the width on the other ones, but this one didn't quite make it. Just a little short to be usable. So that one needs to be fixed. But all the other ones are fine. Again, not going to fix that on stream right now. We're just not going to use that one at the moment. So what lens do I want to correct? I'd really like to use the 150 millimeter lens more frequently on my fiber. So we'll start with that one. That way, if I don't get to anything else on this project, at least the 150 will be set up. So let me go put this in the machine, and then we'll run through a core file together. That'll be a good use of our time. again, I have just a little bit of scrap here. This is just Romark, which works really well. The black and white Romark works really, really well for fiber laser corrections, because the black absorbs the fiber laser really well, but the white core does not. So I'm just going to set that aside for 1 second. We've got the 150 lens in there. And we are going back to the desktop here. If you watched the last episode, you saw we set all of these up. Anything that's been corrected, we need to kind of denote that it's been corrected. So I think we can do like a big C. So EZCAD 2, maybe _C for corrected. This is the one lens that I know is right, because when I was preparing to do this live stream series, I tested on the 175 for the CO2. And I got that one good. I got the focal distance measured right. I did my lens correction. So that's the one lens that I know is like 100% corrected and ready to go. So with that one done, this will be our little denotation here that we've like completed this process, this 2-stream series process. We'll add the _C. We'll know everything has been corrected for. So right now we're doing the 150 millimeter is what I just threw in there for the fiber. I can't launch EZCAD because the fiber laser's not on. I'll throw the material in under the fiber while we're over there. So there it is, material's on. There we go. Okay. Here's my f-150 lens. We just cut this. Hopefully the audio levels are decent. I'm using the other mic over here. I don't usually touch this mic, but this is my workspace mic that I have up there, so you guys can hear me better when I'm standing over here. So we just need to focus this now to the material. We're actually really close. Just go ahead and raise this up a little bit so we get good contact there. Keep it nice and straight. And we're done. Good focus is vital for the rest of this process to work. So we definitely want to make sure that we're kind of on point there. So there's our piece. Move that out of the way. That's causing some weird lighting. That's because it is a bit further away. It's kind of like, if you can see it there, it kind of just like hovers over the lasers. It's not like right in my face like this one is. This one's literally right next to me, so it is a little further away. But that's neither here nor there. So the machine's on, material's down, 150 lens is in, and we're focused. So we can go ahead and launch this now. Actually, we shouldn't have done that. That was the wrong step. I'm going to confuse people. So when this opens, we're going to close it. And we're going to go to Fiber 150. And we're going to do Open File Location. And we're going to run Core File 2. Core File 2 works fine. Mark 9 points rectangle is what we want. First, let's just check our param. 5 kilohertz is a little unnecessary. Let's just do 25. Oh, we're on CO2 also, not good. IPG for fiber laser. 25 kilohertz. Speed is a little slow, but it should be okay. Power needs to come way up. Maybe 50% power for Romark, I'm guessing. We're just going to tone back the size a little bit. The 150 is going to be big, and we need to do a lot of lenses on this piece of scrap. So if you go too small on this, you lose accuracy. The smaller you go on your test box size, the less accurate it's going to be. Default is here at 26,214. We're just going to go one click lower than that, just to conserve a little bit of space, and that should be fine. So next, we're just going to mark our 9 points rectangle. It's up so high. So it's switching over to EZCAD here. I have the laser. You can see the red dot there in the center. I have it kind of in a position where I think that's going to be the size of the box. Could probably fix that a little bit. Also, since we're doing acrylic, we're going to go ahead and turn the exhaust on because I don't feel like huffing a bunch of acrylic fumes at the moment. So let me do that. And hopefully this fits. Because if it goes off the edge, we're going to have to replace it and we're going to lose all this acrylic. So let's go ahead and give it a try here. We're going to hit mark 9 points rectangle. And I'm going to run that a couple times. All right, it looks like we're just barely on it. I need to go inspect it in person, though. So that was a success. We just barely made the cut here. No pun intended. Come on. There you go. So you can see it's right on that corner, but usable, which is good. So we estimated that well. If you haven't seen the episode, go watch it. But basically what we need to do now is our diamond is in the top left. Let me set this up the way I had it last time. So if I can do that, let me grab this. We'll just kind of put that there in the straddle position. Something like that is going to be good. And let's add that to the screen. Are there any learning videos for Project Mark? We just did a live stream called Forced to Use the CO2 Galvo Laser for like tumblers. Something like that. Go check that one out. That's what you want to watch. All right, there it is. It's not perfect, guys. It's just to give you kind of a rough idea of what measurements I'm taking here. And we'll stick that over there. Actually, we want the desktop view. So we'll move this over. Paste that reference. There we go. All right, so you can kind of see. So top left corner we have the diamond. The bottom right corner we have the square, and then we have the line coming across, and it's more on the right than the left. So we need to get this image to match that. We're just going to click change image until we get it. I usually pick one shape, so I'm going to look for the little side of this to be over here. So I'm not going to stop until I see that, and then we'll check everything out. So there it is. Little sides on the left, big sides on the right. We've got the diamond in the top left, the square in the bottom right. So this checks out. Yeah, fiber works on Project Mark works for fiber too. Absolutely. Next thing we need is our handy dandy caliper. Really important. So we'll go ahead and turn that on. And what we're doing here is from each point, we're measuring to the center of each axis. So for the X, we're measuring from point 1 to the center of the X axis. So it's 1 to 2. Okay. For point 3, we're measuring from point 3 to the center of the X axis. So it's 3 to 2. For point 2, we're measuring here in this box to the center of the X axis. Since 2 is in the center of the X axis, it's 2 to 2. That's why it's pre-filled with 0. Okay, just to give you an idea. Some versions of CoreFile have more than these 4 boxes. Some of them have like 16 boxes. So it's always going to be from that point to the center of the axis. It's never going to be from the point to the neighbor. It's really important. because a lot of people get confused about that. Some people just go, like if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, some people will just go 1 to 2. But in that case, 3 would be in the middle. So it'd really be 1 to 3. So I just don't want you to get confused about that. Also, don't worry about these preset values. Sometimes they'll measure out to about 50. Sometimes they won't. It doesn't matter. We're just going to put our actual measurements in on these. So again, 1 to the center of the X. 1 to 2. Okay, so we'll go ahead and take our caliper here. We just want to get this as accurate as possible. I really press the caliper into the point there. I don't want it to move. 1 to 2, 57.94. That's it. And we just start going like this, 57.94. This one says Y, right? So this will be 1 to 4 because it's 1 to the center of the Y axis. So same thing. We're just going to start right up at that 1 point. As close as we can get it. And we're going to bring it all the way down. 59.13. 59.13. 2, again, 2 to the center of the X is 2 to 2, so that's 0. Y is going to be 2 to 5 because it's the center of the Y, so 2 to 5 is the next measurement we need to take. So there's 2 to 5, 58.67. 58.67. 3 to X is 3 to 2. Do it again. 3 to 2. A little bit more. 57.45. Excellent. And then 3 to Y. 59.36. You guys see the pattern here? 4 to X. It's going to be 4 to 5. Four to Y is 4 to 4, so that's 0. 5 to X and 5 to Y are both 0, because 5 to 5, 5 to 5. Okay. 6 to X. It's going to be 6 to 5. So there's 6. To 5. 7 to X. It's going to be 7 to 8. Seven to Y is going to be 7 to 4. Eight to X is 8 to 8, so that's 0. 8 to Y is going to be 8 to 5. Nine to X is 9 to 8. And 9 to Y is 9 to 6. Now, the next piece of this, so we're going to hit OK, and the next piece of this is to measure and make sure that those corrections are valid. You can do this in core file by clicking Calibrate Standard Rectangle. It's a massive file. It's a huge waste of plastic, but I'm going to do it just to show you guys. What I can do is I can go into EZCAD, right? We can save this core file, go into EZCAD, and then just start drawing boxes and measuring to make sure they match up. It's easier to do it in here, especially if you're only doing a lens or two. So I'm going to show you what this looks like, but you need a huge amount of space. It's going to take up like this whole area right here. Still, I want to show you guys what it looks like, so let me go throw this in the machine. So I'm just going to be clicking this Calibrate Standard Rectangle is what we're going to be clicking there. So we can come to EZCAD and we'll just go ahead and calibrate that standard rectangle. As you can see, it's gigantic. It's a gigantic thing. I'm going to run it one more time, just to really whiten up those lines so they're easy to measure. And the box sizes get bigger in increments of 10. You can actually see I let it run over onto the bed there just to save some acrylic. It was kind of all for naught though, because this sheet's basically screwed at this point. But so back over here on the desktop view, we need our caliper again, and we're just going to start measuring boxes. We just want to make sure. So like I said, it's in increments of 10. You could measure all of these boxes if you wanted to be really thorough. I'm not going to do that. So from point A to point B right here should be 10. And I'm reading like 10:05. I mean, you can make it 10. The lines aren't that thin, you know, but it's really, really close. The important thing is you want squares. So we want this to measure to 10 as well, this way. And that looks really good. We could also do it this way where we set our caliper to 20 and lock it and just make sure they match up. So if we go to, we can get it right on 20 there. Come on, perfect. And we tighten that down. We can see here, there's 20 wide and then 20 tall. And you keep going all the way out. If you're not going to measure every single box, at least spot check them as you go through them. So like, you know, jump, we can skip some, right? But you want to get a variety of sizes. Don't base it all on what the little boxes say, because as you get bigger, the distortion can and will get worse. So we'll lock this at 30 or 80 rather. So we'll lock that at 80 and we'll find our 80 box, which is right there. And that is acceptable on width, and then we'll check our 80 box on height. And that's also looking really good right there. Are we even off? You may be off. You gotta count sometimes. Let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, no, we were right the first time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I can't tell if I'm moving or if it's off. It might be off. It might. Really? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8? Yeah, all right, I'm just counting wrong. We're good. We're good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 8, right? 1, 2. I keep forgetting what I'm counting and what I'm not counting. Gets a little harder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, beautiful. We're good. I was getting a little nervous there. I was making an ass out of myself for a second, but we're good. We're good. So anyway, you can go all the way out, right? Like literally as far as your caliper goes. So here we're, let's see, 3 from each corner, 3 from each edge, and that's sitting right about 150 there. So anyway, this is good. If you've ever seen bad galvo lens distortion, you know how bad it can get. This is more than acceptable for me. I'm really happy with those results. So with that done, you would then prepare a new sheet of acrylic to totally blow on this. It goes quick, especially if you're doing the calibration squares. But anyway, this has been set up. So now what we can do is we can close this. That was for our 150. We'll open our fiber. And we'll just edit this here, and we're going to do _C for corrected. And that lens is safe to use. We have a focal stick. We have, let me get rid of that. We have a focal stick. We have our lens corrections done. We have an appropriate focal distance. There's nothing left to do. The 150 set up and ready to go. We can trust that it's going to be accurate from now on. We can trust that there won't be distortions. There's still kind of a little weirdness can happen, like way out at the edges, but once you're done with this too, once you're done with one of these calibrate rectangle boxes, you can use this to dial in your red light. So you can light your red light with a 10mm box and test it on here, or a 20, or a 40, or an 80mm box with your red light and make scale adjustments as needed. It's kind of like a handy second use if you want to use that again, so that the acrylic isn't just totally blown on one thing. So, yeah, I mean, that's about it. We've been running for an hour, so that seems about good. I don't have time to do all of these lenses today, but that's the process. We're just going to do the same exact thing for all of these other lenses that are sitting here. Every single one, it's the exact same thing on the CO2 Galvo as well. And again, the Romark acrylic works even better on the CO2 because it's designed for CO2 laser. So you can use the same process. You can do wood, whatever, as long as you can clearly read that square test box and take accurate measurements. You can use just about whatever material you want. I've done these test grids on steel. I've done them on aluminum. Romark now, wood for the CO2 Galvo. So that's the process. Hopefully that all made sense. Yeah, this completely replaces the Post-it note process. So once you do this, yeah, absolutely. So once you do this, that's a good point. We're not quite done. So, oh man, I messed up big time too. I did a no-no. So, when you're done with the, wow, I really screwed up. So back in here in Core File 2, let's just close this again. So back in here in Core File 2, don't forget to save your correction file. We just didn't, so now I have to do that all over again. So you want to hit Save Correct File right here, Save Correct File, and then we're going to save it. And ideally, you'll save this in the folder for that lens. So we will go to Google Drive, find our Monroe Laser folder. We're going to find our 150 fiber. Okay, and then right in here, this is the folder. If you see the param folder, you're in the right spot. And then we'll name it after our lens. So 150 millimeter core C, 150 millimeter C. We'll hit save. You have to save it. I can't believe I didn't save it. Luckily, I can go back into the stream, so I'll just copy the numbers out of the stream and drop them back in. So save your correct file, and then what you want to do is you want to actually open that copy of EZCAD. So now we'll come in here, and we will open our 150 millimeter lens. I can't believe I didn't save it. All right, so learn from that mistake. People who just checked out because they thought the stream was over, they just missed a they just missed a really important thing. So F3 param, right? So no more post-it notes and manually doing this. All of this becomes irrelevant. We're going to check use the correction file. And we're going to click here to select a file. We'll scroll down. We can see our 150 millimeter core. So we want to make sure these match, right? EZCAD Fiber 150. This is our 150 millimeter correction file. We hit open. It's going to gray all of this stuff out so we can't edit it anymore. Okay, it locks in our 150 millimeter field size, and it will now reference that. I'm just a big mess right now. So one more time, F3 param. Okay, 150. We've got all of our fields here that could be edited if we were going to do this manually. We don't want to do that. So we're just going to leave those alone. Use the correction file. We're going to click here, and we're just going to choose the 150C. That's it. Again, make sure that it matches. So we're in our EZCAD 150 folder, and we've got our 150 correction file that we just made, and we're good to go. I'm off that stuff. And that's it. So that's all you have to do. Hit OK, and then you can make whatever shapes you want to make, and go ahead and test out sizes, and you're good to go. So that's really it. I'll give you guys a minute if you have questions or whatever, and then I'll probably, if I have time, I will stay and probably do lenses for like another hour or so. But that's the entire process. Lens to get with the 50 watt. I always recommend, if you can only have one lens, I really like the 110. Alright guys, I guess that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Wish me luck with my pile. See you later guys.